up here hunting in Alabama. Anyway, I got a special invitation from Ben Davis and Simon Carden. Got here Thursday and made an evening hunt. It was right after rain. Didn't do much good. In fact, we didn't see a deer. And next morning, during the night, I got sick and I wasn't able to make a morning hunt. Got feeling better Thursday evening, or it's Friday evening. And they put me on a great stand, had a big cow oak on the edge of a big food plot. I was in the stand 10 minutes and saw 4 bucks, little small bucks. And those 4 bucks turned into 9 bucks and 2 does before the evening was over. Out of the 9 bucks, I had 7 of them inside 15 yards. One of them was a really good buck, but they got standards that set kind of high here, and I didn't want to step on nobody's toes, so I passed down the 4 15-yard broadside shots I had on him. But I did shoot at a doe, and she was a little far, and no better shot than I am. I shot a little low. I missed her, and then that was Friday evening. Saturday morning, where did we go Saturday morning? I forget.
Me too.
Anyway, it wasn't memorable, I don't guess.
No, we didn't see anything.
And then yesterday evening, which was Saturday evening, I come in here at this other place they put me. It was really good. It's a huge food plot, probably the biggest food plot I ever hunted on. And they already had to stand. No, Ben set the stand up. We come in on Simon's suggestion. He suggests where we hunt. He'd been seeing a lot of deer come out there. And it was tore up. Just where they exit the woods, there's several trails and scrapes. And it was just a hub of activity right there. So we put probably a half hour picking out the tree we wanted to set up on to cover as much as we could. Great big old pine tree, we set up on it. Ben put the sticks up and the big old millennium stand, like a Cadillac stand. I never sat in one like that before. And anyway, they showed me where to go, and I went in there. And well, I come back to it. I done got back on on Thursday's hunt now, Friday's hunt. But anyway, I came back to it and got in the stand and had a deer come in, gonna give me a 10-yard shot, and at the last minute I realized it had horns about 1/4 to 1/2 inch long. A little old white, looked like toothpick sticking up. Big old bodied deer, but he wasn't a shooter. He come in and actually come around under me and got down and put his nose to the sticks. I guess he didn't remember them being there and was gonna check them out. And then he walked on off, went over some oak trees. He never did go in the food plot. Next thing I saw was a doe coming through, and she was walking real fast, and I kind of stopped her with a grunt like a bleat and took a shot. And it's probably about a long 20-yard shot, and my arrow dropped out and went at the ground, and then she left. And then later on I looked behind me. Ben sent me a text saying that a doe was coming my way out of the field, and I looked back there, and it was, but it changed direction and started going the other way. And then some 30 minutes later, I just glanced back there, and the sungun was coming straight to me. And right before it got to the woods line, it turned and went away from me and then come in the woods line. I took a 25-yard shot at her and did the same thing. Air dropped out before it got to her. And I said, well, so much for this. And then right at dark, this deer decided to make herself present. And she come in from those oak trees that we had checked and almost hunted, and got in, and I guess she was quartering away. But anyway, I took a shot. It was real late and everything. I heard the thump when it hit her. She took a 210-degree bearing and went off, but she soon veered back to her left there and went up a thicket right here. But the only bearing we knew was straight away at 210 degrees. So I walked it out and looked, wasn't any blood. Just spent a lot of time fooling with it, and finally just give up on it. And actually by that time Ben had come over and he was helping me look, and when I was coming back from running the bearing, I seen a deer laying down. It wasn't probably 40 yards, and we probably closed the distance another 15 yards on it. Didn't realize how close we was, and the deer was laying there. I thought it was the one I'd shot that hadn't died yet, and I didn't want to scare it and spook it. Figured if it was in good condition, it would have got up and run. So we backed out and come back this morning, and that deer wasn't the one I'd shot. We went over there and we was actually within 20 yards of that thing when we backed off. Tame deer around here, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we made a little short hunt this morning, come back in here and started running bearings. We did a grid search with a GPS kit that marks your tracking where you go, and then we had a compass that shows when you get off your bearing, and it worked out great. We walked in these open woods so we could see each other, see everything between us and on each side, and we went a quarter of a mile, and then we went spread out the other way and then come back, and then on the way back, Ben passed by the deer, and then he went back to look at the oak tree and seen the belly laying over here, and he gave me a call and come over here, and here she is. But the shot was 15 yards. It had stepped it off. Wasn't sure exactly how she run, but it looked like maybe 100 yards she covered. And it looks like I hit her right behind the flank, and it angled through and come out the other side. So I had to pass through. I don't know where my air is at. Oh, yeah, that's right. We pulled the air out of her. It was in her. That's right. Look at me. But anyway, here she is. I'm glad to get her. It's my 381st deer, my 280th Bowkill, and my number 77 with the Acadian Woods bow. So I'm proud to get her, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Now I got my hosts I want to bring in here. Come on in here, man. This is Ben Davis.
All right.
And Simon Carden. These guys were so generous to invite me to come over here and hunt with them. I really appreciate it. Got a great place to hunt. It's as good a place that I ever hunted in my life. I've had two good places, the best I've ever hunted, and this was equally as good, and maybe better. No more than I can tell after 3 days. But the hospitality was good. We ate good. Had good sleeping quarters. It was just roughing wasn't an option. It was all Cadillac going. What you got to say?
Well, I tell you, what I've got to say is I'm so impressed with that grid search. I learned a lot right there.
Yeah.
You know, not having much of a blood trail, it was hard to find that deer. Well, I thought it was going to be hard to find it, but that grid search thing that you taught me, boy, that's
the only
very
way
efficient.
that's the only way you can find them without. I used to hang toilet paper. I'd go and depending on how thick it was, how much I would hang, and I'd hang it where I could see it. And I'd run that bearing out, and then I'd get over to the way that they came in from, because they didn't want to go back to where they come from. They felt safe back there. And then I'd come back, and I was hanging toilet paper, looking on both sides, but making sure I saw everything between where I was coming back and where it already went. And when I get there, I would go back, and I would grid off an area with toilet paper and see every inch of the place for like 150 yards by 100 yards. But didn't find them, I'd switch over and do the same thing on the other side. But didn't find them, I'd extend it another 100 yards. And you keep blocking it off, it gets bigger and bigger. But now with this new technology and cell phones, you got a compass that gives you a red line when you get off your bearing that you run. And walking through these trees and thickets and bushes and stuff, without that, with a regular compass, you get off and you don't know if you get back on that straight line or not. You might be walking that bearing, but you might have relocated, and just a few degrees make a lot of difference the further you go. So that thing, plus this GPS kit, just an app with a cell phone, it keeps you, it tracks where you're going. It's laying down a colored line of your choice. Everywhere you walk, it shows a line. And it's accurate within about 10 or 20 feet at the most. You know, at the worst, I should say. So combining those two things, you really don't need blood.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I really appreciate you showing me that and everything else you've taught me.
We had fun.
Yes, sir, we
Yes,
did.
sir,
I'm
we
glad
did.
you got that one.
But these are two great guys. I tell you what, I've met a lot of good guys in my career hunting and meeting people, knowing people, and these are in the top 10 for sure. I guarantee you that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else y'all want to say?
I'm just glad you made the trip
Yeah.
and glad you got one. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, and
Now-
thank you for passing it on, Mr. Warren.
Oh,
I
sir.
appreciate what you do and you know, being
Yeah.
able to, you know, sharing what you've learned over the years with guys, with us and other people.
That's
It's
what
rare.
everybody should do. You know,
It
you
is,
pass
sir.
it on.
It
You
is,
ain't
yes,
gonna be, ain't no use keeping it to yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Now I got a little work. We're gonna quarter this thing up and pack it off, and I got a 7-hour ride to the house. See y'all on the next one. Thank you, man.